It's December 8th, 2019 in the Electric City of New Orleans. Two of the top NFC teams are battling for the number 1 seed in a high-stakes showdown. The 10-2 Saints host the 10-2 49ers in front of a packed Superdome crowd of 73,038, with countless more watching at home. What they were about to witness was nothing short of an offensive explosion, a relentless back and forth between Drew Brees and Mr. Sexy himself, Jimmy Jesus. But before we dive into this game, let's take a few steps back and understand how both of these teams got here.
Hey, we're good. Come on, guys. Let's just be friends.
They're not saying nice words.
A year earlier, the 49ers were in ruins, finishing 4-12 in a season that was over before it truly began. Their offense was uninspiring, averaging just 21.4 points per game, which was 21st in the league. While turnovers plagued them, they coughed up the ball 32 times, which was second most in the NFL. Losing your starting quarterback early in the season doesn't help. Jimmy Garoppolo tore his ACL in Week 3, forcing CJ Bernard and Nick Mullins into action. The team fought hard, keeping games close, but they simply couldn't finish. The offensive line struggled, allowing 48 sacks, which was 8th most in the league. Outside of George Kittle, their only 1,000-yard receiver, the receiving core was underwhelming. Kendrick Bourne showed flashes but never truly became a star. Dante Pettis was inconsistent and later faded into obscurity. And Marquise Goodwin had speed but never was a true wide receiver 1. The 49ers knew they needed to make drastic changes, and they did in the 2019 offseason. 49ers would make a bunch of signings during free agency, like linebacker Quan Alexander. They also signed Daniel Brunskill to a 1-year deal, Tevin Coleman to a 2-year $8.5 million contract, defensive end Dee Ford to a 5-year $87.5 million contract, and they signed a bunch of other guys that really didn't pan out, like Jason Vernon, David Mayo, and Jordan Matthews. With the second overall pick in the 2019 draft, they would select Nick Bosa, a generational pass rusher who would transform their defense. In the second round, they found a gem in Deebo Samuel, a physical, dynamic wide receiver out of South Carolina. This pick would pay off in a big way. They would also take Jalen Hurd in the third round, a promising receiver out of Baylor, but he never saw the field due to injuries. Then, midway through the 2019 season, the 49ers would make another crucial move, trading for veteran Emmanuel Sanders, giving Jimmy Garoppolo a reliable weapon and giving those young guys a veteran to look up to. Armed with a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo and a revamped offense and one of the best defenses in the league, the 49ers flipped the script in 2019. They soared to a 10-2 record heading into Week 14, averaging 29.9 points per game, which was second in the NFL, and an 8.5 point jump from the previous year. But what about the team across from them?
We always saying, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. But love ain't no word, it's an action. Don't tell me you love me, show you.
The Saints, who had one of the best seasons in 2018, finishing 13-3 and securing the number 1 seed in the NFC. Their offense was dynamic, their defense vastly improved, and their Super Bowl window was wide open. They were third in the NFL with points per game at 31.5. And at age 39, Drew Brees was playing some of the best football of his career. He threw for 3,992 yards, 32 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions, finishing with an NFL record 74.4% completion percentage. He was effective, accurate, and dominant, making the Saints offense one of the most feared in the league. The supporting cast around him was elite. Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and behind Alvin Kamara was Mark Ingram, a solid running back too. The Saints defense, which was once considered a liability, became a strength in 2018 and only allowed 22.1 points per game, which was 14th in the NFL, which isn't good but isn't bad. Key players like Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, and Demario Davis turned this unit into a playoff caliber defense. But what happened to this 2018 team? Well, in the NFC Championship game, one of the most infamous moments in NFL history unfolded. A blatant pass interference on Nicole Roby-Coleman that was not called. The Saints were forced to settle for a field goal instead of running out the clock. The Rams tied the game, won it in overtime, and ended the Saints season in heartbreak. Yes, the Saints had plenty of chances to win this game and failed at every single chance, so I don't blame this call for the Saints losing. And once again, they dominated the regular season, proving to be one of the most balanced teams in the league. But this time, the road to the playoffs was much more rockier. In Week 2 against the Rams, Drew Brees suffered a torn ligament in his thumb, and it seemed like a potential season-derailing moment. But backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater stepped up, leading the Saints to a 5-0 record in his absence. By the time Brees returned in Week 8, the Saints were 7-1, sitting comfortably atop the NFC South. If 2018 was great for Michael Thomas, 2019 was legendary, up to Week 14 with 121 receptions, 1,426 yards, 7 touchdowns, and an NFC Offensive Player of the Year award coming up. He was unstoppable, becoming Brees' go-to weapon in pretty much every situation. Now that both teams are under the same roof, heading into Week 14, both the Saints and the 49ers were 10-2, battling for that number 1 seed. This highly anticipated matchup was poised to be a playoff atmosphere in the Superdome. The stage was set for one of the greatest regular season games in recent memory, a matchup that would pit two of the league's best offenses and defenses against each other. As these two teams met in Week 14, we were about to witness instant classic. The Saints get the ball first, and Deontay Harris takes the opening kick 31 yards to the 27. Wasting no time, Drew Brees hits Alvin Kamara for 9 yards, then Taysom Hill for 12. The Saints are quickly moving to 49ers territory. After a couple more incompletions, Jared Cook would score a 38-yard touchdown. Just like that, the Saints are up 7-0. A quick, clean drive in just 3 minutes and 19 seconds. New Orleans strikes first blood, but the 49ers wouldn't take long to answer. Garoppolo opens San Francisco's drive with a 19-yard pass to Emmanuel Sanders, and then goes right back to him for 31 more, pushing the ball to the Saints 30 a few plays later. Finds Debo for 25 yards down to the 5, and on 3rd and goal, Garoppolo would hit Kendrick Bourne for a 6-yard touchdown, tying the game at 7. Just 3 minutes and 8 seconds later, the 49ers had already evened things up. At this point, we all knew what we were about to see. Deontay Harris would take it 51 yards to the 46-yard line, and Brees would waste no time with this field position, hitting Ted Ginn for 12 yards. After a couple short runs, he would connect with Jared Cook again, this time for a 26-yard touchdown. The Saints would then go for 2, but then fail. This was a questionable decision. Sure, the 49ers offense is explosive and rarely good, but it really wasn't worth risking being down 1 this early. The 49ers would get the ball back, but they would quickly stall out. A false start sets them back, and the Saints defense steps up, forcing a quick 3-and-out. Garoppolo can't get anything going, and just like that, San Francisco is punting the ball to New Orleans. The Saints take advantage in just 5 plays. They march down the field again and score, extending their lead to 20-7 against one of the most dominant defenses in the NFL. 49er fans had every reason to be shitting their pants right now. Down by 13, and the Saints offense was on fire and unstoppable. But this panic was short-lived, as Jimmy G would unleash a 75-yard piss missile to Emmanuel Sanders for a touchdown in just 1 play. If the first few scores didn't set the tone for this game, this one did. It's 20-14, and we still have 14 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first half. And if you thought the scoring would die there, no, you would be dead wrong. Drew Brees' 39 is still picking apart defenses like it's nothing. Kamara just ripped off a 17-yard run to push into 49ers territory. Then he fights his way to the 1-yard line. Drew Brees would finish off this drive with another touchdown, his 3rd of the game, and the scoreboard now reads 27-14. Nobody wants to play defense, and the 49ers are getting the ball back yet again, down 13. San Francisco needs a spark, and they need it now. Big plays from Debo Samuel and Raheem Mostert can only take you so far. They need something special. They need something that is outside the box that New Orleans will never see coming.
Come inside, a little trickery here. Sanders gonna throw it wide open. It's Mostert for the touchdown.
Holy shit. Another touchdown. In just 1 minute and 30 seconds, Emmanuel Sanders throws a 35-yard bomb to Raheem Mostert. The game is back to a 1-score game, 27-21. Now, the 49ers defense needs to step up, and they do. The Saints go 3-and-out, and they're forced to punt. Punting in this game, absolutely disgusting. If the 49ers want to keep up, this is the drive to do it. They have the momentum, and after a big defensive stop, they need to take advantage. They start chewing clock, which is smart, because you cannot give the ball back to Drew Brees and let him score again. A false start doesn't really help, but it doesn't matter because this Raheem Mostert guy is really fucking good. Touchdown, 49ers. Unbelievable. The 49ers, who were just down 20-7, not even a quarter ago, are now up 28-27. The Saints can't do anything with their next possession, and just like that, we're heading into halftime. Saints down by 1. No one is disappointed. 2 of the best teams in the NFC are proving exactly why they belong at the top. 28-27. Start of the 3rd quarter, San Fran is projected to win by 58.1%. The good thing for San Fran is they received the ball. A touchdown here can make this game a little scary for New Orleans.
2nd down. Garoppolo has time over the middle, high, and it's intercepted by Robert Robertson. And the first turnover of the game. Sanders had his hands on it. Robertson with the pick.
Not even 2 minutes into the second half, and the Saints are already getting the ball. Don't worry, San Fran. New Orleans isn't going to do anything either. Saints settle for a field goal, and as fast as San Fran got the lead, they lose it. Saints up 30-28. 49ers get the ball right back, and the Saints defense holds them to a 3-and-out. 2 defensive stops? Okay, where's the twist?
He's in company. It's Alvin Kamara looking for a seam. There is the ball's loose. San Francisco's got it. And the first turnover for the 49ers defense.
Alvin Kamara on the very first play fumbles the ball right back to the 49ers. Don't worry, San Fran will make them pay. In just 2 plays, they will find their way into the end zone for another touchdown. 49ers lead 35-30. There's a chance New Orleans can still rebound here. A good drive down the field. Big 16-yard run by Murray puts them in a good spot. But San Fran's defense holds again. 4th and 1. You need to convert this. You cannot give this ball back to San Fran.
Kamara in motion. They will simply hand it off to Taysom Hill, who puts down his shoulder and is nearly impossible to stop, and it's a first down.
Taysom Hill is clutch. Maybe he does deserve those random contracts, but it doesn't matter. San Fran's defense clamps down again, and the Saints settle for another field goal. 35-33. It is a 2-point game. If there was ever a time to put the dagger into New Orleans, it would be now. Come on, San Fran. Kill them off. Or just go 3-and-out and give the ball right back to New Orleans. New Orleans, are you going to do anything?
Intelligence. Felt the play, understood.
It's a fake. Hill's got it. Looking to throw. Taysom Hill going for it. Oh! Incomplete. Other flags. No flags.
I understand being aggressive, but why are you faking that? You have time, and you give the 49ers the ball in perfect field position. New Orleans, you better hope San Fran's offense doesn't wake up. And as expected, Jimmy Garoppolo leads the 49ers down the field and score another touchdown. Playing aggressive usually leads to some pretty stupid results. 42-33. If you want to stay in this game, you need to stop fucking around. New Orleans got the message. Their offense has woken up, or at least Drew Brees and Michael Thomas have. They cooked this supposedly elite defense. 49-yard play from Michael Thomas, and then a short pass to the left leads to a Michael Thomas touchdown. 42-40. You may not have the lead, but if that defense can make a stop, this game could be yours. Notice how I said if. 49ers are eating away at the clock, moving down the field with ease. Come on, New Orleans, just make one stop.
Along with Pam Oliver and Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt, our entire NFL on Fox crew. Game's been as good as the score looks. On the fake pressure coming, Garoppolo is decked for a huge loss. What a play, Von Bell, and at the biggest time.
And this is what you need. A big sack that pushes the Niners to 3rd and 16. And the defense holds them to a field goal. This game is all yours, New Orleans. Do not fuck it up. This drive is going perfectly. Clock is ticking. The ball is moving. Just don't mess around.
5, another blitz. Breeze is almost intercepted. It should have been picked by Witherspoon, but he couldn't hang on.
And then leave it to San Fran to fuck it up for themselves. Okay, New Orleans, just put it away.
This time, throwing over the middle, caught. Smith breaks the tackle at the 10. Still going! Touchdown, New Orleans!
You aren't free yet. Just get this 2-point conversion and you've gotten yourself a safety blanket.
On the fake, Breeze throws incomplete, not even close.
Oh God, you failed it again. You still have the lead, but do you really think this defense is stopping the Niners? San Fran, are you gonna do something? New Orleans has you at 4th and 2. Just end it already.
Garoppolo fires, it is caught, still on his feet is Kittle with a big play, and the stiff arm, George Kittle, flags fly, he's down to the 30! What a run by George Kittle, taking on everybody, but the penalty is huge, there are multiple flags.
Holy fucking shit. George Kittle just put the dagger into the hearts of every single New Orleans fan. While getting face masked with another man jumping on his back, he still held onto the ball and stayed on his feet. At this point, San Fran deserves the win.
Snap is high, the kick is up, and it is good!
And there it is, the final score, 48-46. San Fran escapes with a massive win to potentially hold on to that #1 seed. One of the best regular season games ever, and one of my favorite games of all time.